Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. I want to talk about it. Why? Because Ilia Topuria just recently made a call for a fight between him and Islam after he beats Max Holloway. I think it quite frankly shouldn't be given to him. Ilia needs at least one more defense after this one to earn the right to move up and straight up challenge another champion in a different weight division. He needs another defense at his own weight because he just won the belt. I know it's been quite a while since he's won the belt, but title defense wise, he just won the belt. He just did. So to beat Max Holloway, I get it. It's no small feat by any means, but you still need another defense if you want to go up and challenge Islam Makhachev. I think Ilia could absolutely do that, and that would make a great fight. I think Ilia versus Islam would definitely be a great fight, and I think it'll be so much of a great fight that I'm actually going to talk about what would happen in this video. But I want to start out with the fact that Ilia does not deserve to fight Islam after beating Max Holloway. Even if he knocks Max out in the first minute of their fight, he needs another defense. He needs another defense. Some of you may disagree. Oh, Ilia's on this, huge tear through the organization and the division, and he's so great and he's so powerful. I understand he's got fucking power for days. We're talking about the mini Francis Ngannou. I get it. That being said, he still needs to earn his way to those next steps. A singular title defense will not change things. Knocking out Volk will not change things. Islam did it too. Islam knocked out Volkanovski as well. So you gotta bring something new to the table. You gotta take out another guy at featherweight. And lucky for you, those guys are coming. I think you got Evloev's. He's fighting Aljamain Sterling, and I think from what I'm seeing, I think Evloev is pretty hungry for a title shot, or maybe Aljamain will go for one. So you got people who are gonna come to. There are people that are going to eventually challenge Ilia who are, not average or mediocre by any means. So Ilia can wait, okay? I know he's really trying to reach for the the heights of greatness and do things like Pereira has done and other fighters like him, but you got to earn that stuff. You got to prove that stuff. Ilia has so much power, great boxing technique, great grappling. He's got all of the ingredients for a well-rounded, dangerous future GOAT fighter. But you still have to prove that you are that. You still have to prove that you have those skills. And although it's been shown in previous fights, you got to prove it with the belt. You got to prove it with title defenses. Now let's move on to Ilia versus Islam. I think it would be a blockbuster fight. I think there would be absolutely great build-up, very much similar to, Conor McGregor versus Khabib. And yeah, the same shit would be for like Sean O'Malley versus Islam too, but it doesn't really matter. Either way, everybody's gunning for Islam, and it should show how great Islam is and at what level of the fight game Islam Makhachev is at, because this guy is definitely a future GOAT, if not already, definitely on the GOAT list. But he's got a little bit more to show. But I think Islam Makhachev is a certified future GOAT. But let's get back to the specifics of this fight. So yeah, it will be a blockbuster. It will be a great fight, and I'm already seeing a lot of people swing towards Ilia's side, and I understand why. Ilia's very powerful. Very skillful. The boxing technique is there. The grappling is there. He's got dangerous tools. And like I said, he's really well-rounded. So is Islam, if not more so. And then when you throw in the fact that Islam is way taller than Ilia and as great, if not better, at grappling than Ilia, you got to go with Islam. I'm going with Islam. And I feel like, the facts behind that decision are clear. Islam, the Dagestani grappling method and style is something that I advocate for and talk about a lot. But besides that, he's added so much striking IQ and even power to his arsenal, and he showed that against Volk, you know, and then the grappling he showed against guys like Oliveira. Um, he's even shown his willingness to go to war when he fought Dustin. I know a lot of people say that since Dustin brought Islam to like round 4, and he did kind of beat Islam up in certain aspects, that Islam isn't as great as people think he is. He is as great as people think he is, and he probably is better. He's at a higher level than people think he's at. Dustin did bring Islam to what, round 4 or 5? No, yeah, round 4. And if Islam didn't get that, it was like a trip. If he didn't get that lucky takedown attempt, people would say that Dustin would have won that. And I think I have to rewatch that fight to really think about whether or not Dustin really won that. But Islam still was stellar in that fight, and I think arguably still won on the feet too. Dustin was doing his thing, but Islam was throwing back and right back and landing very often. And then he just brought Dustin back to his world on the ground and submitted him. You know, same thing he could do to Ilya, really. And the thing that I can't like, the thing that I want to stress the most with this fight is just how tall Islam is compared to Ilya. Ilya's what, 5'7"? Islam Makhachev is 5'10", I believe. Yeah, 5'10". 3-inch, almost 4-inch height advantage. I think the reach is also longer too, but let's just stick with the height for a minute, because we got to also talk about the power and the precision of Islam Makhachev's kicks, and how he can definitely utilize those against the shorter Ilya Topuria. So it's the same thing, Islam really did against Volk. And then if this fight were to go to the ground, sure, Ilya Topuria is stellar there. Like I said before, Islam is even better in my opinion. Dagestani handcuffs, all those little, Dagestani tricks and methods on the ground, utilizing all of those against Ilya. Islam's pretty much a bad night for Ilya everywhere, and a lot of people, I understand, would disagree and say that, Ilya is just as great, and he's got the power factor too, so if he lands, he has potential to put Islam out. I understand it, but I think Islam is smart enough to remain out of range, and tall enough to remain out of range, and mixing in kicks and mixing in counter punching. I think it'll be a technical masterpiece, but I think at the end of the day, like I said, Islam will be able to stay out of range. If this fight was to go to a decision, I think he would still be able to get enough points to win, whether it's on the feet or on the ground, whether it's ground control or submission attempts, or even getting a submission on Ilya. I think that's it's decently possible as well for that to happen. So I think there's so many avenues for victory for Islam Makhachev, way more than Ilya. I think for Ilya, he's just got to land that lucky punch. He's just got to land that really clean overhand or really clean hook that's just going to, knock Islam out right on the chin. But I think it's the least likely outcome. I think it's the least likely outcome, and I think it just won't happen, because again of how tall Islam is and how smart Islam is. So I'm going with Islam. I still think that Ilya Topuria is a genius for even bringing this up and pushing this, because that just shows how smart he is entertainment-wise as well. He's building a fan base. He's got a whole country behind him. Two for that matter, but Spain and Georgia. He's a smart guy, and I really still consider him the next generation of Conor McGregor, the Spanish Conor McGregor. He's arrived. He's hungry. If he gets that Islam fight, he only becomes bigger. And even if he loses, there's still a lot of people he could beat relatively easily too. So not easily, but again, he's got this ability to land that clean punch. Again, I don't think he'll land it against Islam, but I think he has the ability to land it against a ton of other people in the UFC. So that being said, I think Islam takes the fight. I think Islam wins the fight, but Ilia Topuria is still a genius, and I think he still beats Max. So yeah, that's that. Like this video, share, but most importantly, subscribe. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next.